she was on the field, so she got to have a feel of what cocoa farmers actually go through in order to bag those 50 kilograms of iconic beans from Ghana, well-acclaimed beans from Ghana. And she tells us that it's not an easy road. So it's not an easy road has a double meaning, and you'll understand that as soon as you watch the story Ikuya put together. Which one had the award? Let's have a look.
The journey to Bebianeha in the Upper Dintra East District of the Central Region was rough, as most of the roads were rugged. After hours of traveling from some cocoa growing communities in the Western North Region to Bebianeha in the Central Region, I arrived at the village of Mr. Yakubu, who had worked as a cocoa farmer for over 2 decades. He, however, says he has little to show for his years of hard work.
Fetch and enduro. See, I know that
access to fertilizers and pesticides is very difficult.
Cooperative buyer may cocktail and be buy. Maybe a measure may be. The Cocona Airbasa come a big guya, Kabia Kababom.
Mr. Yakubu lives with his 2 wives, 10 children and grandchildren who are of school-going ages but have not yet been enrolled into any school due to financial challenges. When he's not on his farm, Mr. Yakubu will be checking on his cocoa beans, which have been left under the sun to dry for 7 days or more, depending on the weather pattern, to ensure it is doing well. Mr. Yakubu says growing cocoa is not an easy task. He says the post-harvest process has a major effect on the quality of cocoa and on its taste. I caught up with the 30-year-old son of Mr. Yakubu, who also lives at the village with his wife and 2 children. Zachary Larry said that lack of access to finance and inadequate infrastructure are among factors that impede families of cocoa farmers who live in rural areas from breaking the cycle of poverty.
Our living conditions are very bad.
Bebianeha has no electricity, and so most families, including the Yakubu family, live their lives in total darkness, waiting to be connected to the national grid.
We have lived here all our lives without electricity.
Mr. Paul Yakubu says that low productivity, low incomes and limited development in farming communities have created issues that must be addressed to improve the standard of living of cocoa farmers. He therefore hopes to see a robust and competitive global market that provides strong incentives and sustainable livelihoods for cocoa farmers in the country. It was a rugged journey from Insonsia, Sefibuako to other cocoa growing communities in the Sefibioso district of the Western North region. The experience of traveling on these roads attests to the claims by road users and farmers that the deplorable roads are affecting cocoa production. These roads were constructed to facilitate the transportation of cocoa beans from the farms to market centers, but these cocoa roads are unable to serve the purpose for which they were constructed. The farmers say the state of the roads increased transportation cost. At Insonsia, a cocoa growing community in the Western North region, GBC News spoke to a field worker, Mr. Pius Bamfo, who works with many cocoa farmers at a rural service center established by Solidaridad, an international civil society organization in partnership with Ghana Cocoa Board.
The roads here are very bad, and due to that, most of the produce are left to rot.
Some road projects in this area have been abandoned, worsening the state of the road. Mr. Pius Bamfo had this to say.
Whenever a project is started on the road, completion becomes a problem.
Mr. Kwekupong, a cocoa farmer at Insonsia, said the onset of rains make the roads somewhat trouble.
Authorities should try and fix the deplorable roads.
The farmers say they are yet to see the cocoa roads project take effect in some parts of the Western North region. They are therefore pleading with the government to reconstruct the roads and repair collapsed bridges linking these farms and communities to major trading centers to boost cocoa production in the country. Four-year-old Rebecca Mensah, a native of Diaso in the central region, is a single mother and works at a rural service center in a cocoa growing area at Agona Port, a suburb of Diaso. Rebecca is among 6 women who are responsible for for the drying process of cocoa seedlings. She says the establishment of the Rural Service Center is timely.
With the establishment of the center, I can now earn a lot for my family.
company
32-year-old Alice Tamia is also employed at the Rural Service Center and says she has been working at the center for the past few months, an opportunity she got after she lost her job as a farmer. She says now she's able to cater for the needs of her children with her current job.
Since I started working here, I do not struggle to fend for myself.
At the Rural Service Center, although men do the most difficult tasks, the women here also have tough roles to play. They collect cocoa pods after they are harvested, break and ferment them, and later dry them.
We don't want to be a rural service center that only look at men as people who can provide a better service as compared to women. They are also very, very good at this cocoa farming process. They add a lot of value to the chain as well. So they are active and they know what they do. So we basically want to extend our shores to invite women into the program.
It has been a great benefit to this area because there is a Galamsey area and most of the farmers, about 60% of the farmers are aged. Yes, and most of aged, so they are not able to manage their farms. So you can imagine the number of farms that are left in the bushes. Yeah, so as we came, we are managing the farms for the farmers. Yes, and those who are not able to manage their farms also give their farms to Galamsey operators. And this time we are taking over the farm, so those things have ceased. Yeah, and we also provide labor services because of the Galamsey. They are not able to get labor, so we are able to organize labor from places to manage their farms. So I think it has been the Service Center, Solidarida and Corrib have provided to us. It has been a great, very great benefit to the community at large.
This is just one of the rural service centers established in almost all the cocoa regions under the Cocoa Rehabilitation and Intensification Program Corrib 2. The rural service centers are established as a private sector driven vehicle to deliver production and marketing services for smallholder cocoa farmers. Experts in the cocoa sector say the rural service centers will create more jobs for the youth and women in the cocoa sector and also improve productivity in the cocoa supply chain.
Under the Cocoa Rehabilitation Program by Cocoa Board and the ISHED program in collaboration with Solidarity, now these women who are working right behind me have a source of livelihood and they can support their various households. For GPC News, Ofeyiwa Dako reporting.
So that was the report that bagged that award for Ofeyiwa, and she's here at the table and we are talking to her about the story. So she was adjudged the Cocoa Journalist of the Year at the Ghana Cocoa Awards 2021, which was held over the weekend. Ofeyiwa, we've seen the story. We know from what the statistics available to us that the 2020-2021 crop season brought Ghana about 1.04 million tons of cocoa. That's a lot of money, even in dollars or cedis. But we don't see the actual farmers who grow the cocoa, who dry the beans, who transport them, making much from the hard work that they put in.
Exactly.
And I'm sure that really worried you.
I think it's something that bothers so much on the minds of people. these are the people who are, let me say, at the bottom of the cocoa value chain. It's so vast. Ghana's cocoa landscape is so vast. It comes with a lot of challenges which are so enormous, and these farmers tend to actually bear the brunt of these challenges. They do the most, I should say, most of the job before we even get to see what we all love to eat, our chocolates, our drinks and all that. So let me start from how I got to report on that story. It was quite a spontaneous journey for me. It wasn't premeditated. Usually if I go on location...
How do you go on a spontaneous journey that takes you from Accra, where you are based, to the Western North region?
So that's where the story is. I was actually on a field trip with Solidaridad. It's a civil society organization that has the interest of, let me say, sustainable cocoa production in Ghana. So they went on a field trip, which I happened to be on. And as usual, a kid wouldn't go on just a normal assignment and won't come back with other stories. So when I got on location, after we were done with everything, I was looking out for stories I can tell, stories that I actually had a feel of. So after our third journey, I thought of going back to Bibianiha to talk to the cocoa farmer I interviewed, and I realized how terrible the situation is with regards to the problems in the sector. So he let me know the actual things that go on there. Although some farmers tend to benefit, they have cooperatives in the cocoa sector, and if you happen to join, then you benefit from fertilizers, having access to cocoa inputs. But here is the case where some of them, although they join the cooperatives, those inputs don't get to them. And here I was talking to this 58-year-old farmer who has earned nothing after working for over 3 decades. So I thought of bringing the story out there so that we all get to know what actually they face before we get to taste the sweet, cocoa that we all love to enjoy.
Was it easy? And how many times did you have to go back?
It was just after the initial trip. Okay, so I did everything within that trip. Whilst I was doing the major assignment, I was also looking out for these batch roads, that's the deplorable roads, unmeasurable ones to the cocoa districts. I was also looking out for the poor livelihoods of cocoa farmers. And apparently we go on, back here in Accra, we go on assignments and we hear the cries of these farmers. They bring those issues to bear during the conferences. Those who happen to get the chance to join those conferences, they talk about the challenges they go through. But going there, I actually had a feel of everything. So that was when I got the story and brought the issues to the limelight for it to be addressed.
What kind of impact would you say the story has made? I want to talk about that before I even get into how you submitted your story for the award in the first place. There are challenges that you mentioned. The farmers are talking about having little to show for years of hard work.
Exactly.
Access to fertilizers and pesticides, very difficult. Access to finance and adequate infrastructure, which is making it difficult for them to break even. And the part that really got me is where one of the farmers said it's difficult to break the cycle of poverty. And there's no electricity. Somebody is asking for solar electricity. They don't have that. Have you made any impact at all after the story was aired?
Okay, so after interviewing this cocoa farmer and his family, the next thing was to have his number. Unfortunately, none of them had a mobile phone. So then I didn't even know how.
But if you live in a community that does not have electricity, then
some people have these small mobile phones where they are able to journey for long hours or something just to go to the nearest community to charge their phones. But this is where they don't have it. So it was quite troubling for me getting in touch with them in case the needed help comes, but I had to come back to Accra without it. And I was just being hopeful that at least when the story is aired on television, on our channel, the appropriate intervention will be given to them. And this story was aired, and for about over a period of 6 months, Cocoa Board, some agencies were also watching, and it's an issue that they already know. And so I realized, the information I got was that most of these trunk roads were being worked on. So that would be the second part of the story, where I have to go back to Bibianiha and some of the cocoa districts, areas, to go and ascertain the fact that if
the roads are being constructed, because it's a major reason why they are unable, or they face difficulties in transporting from the farm gate to the end point where they'll be bought and sent on to be exported and whatnot. So I just want to come to the awards quickly. How did you hear about the Ghana Cocoa Awards?
Okay, this should be my 8th time. I am someone who I'm passionate about doing special reports. I love to do features. I don't let any story slip by me. I will go hard at it, even no matter how difficult it becomes. I did this story without even the intention. I didn't know there was something like this, the Ghana Cocoa Awards. Then I got a call that I often get these calls. Someone will call and say that you did a story like so good, you can enter for this award. Then I'll get a link. And this cocoa something happened to the story. I got the link and I said, okay, let me try it. And I had already worked on the story without even knowing that this was going to happen. I was going to receive this coveted award, and I got it. So that's how it happened. I got the link, I entered it, and we were 3 in the category.
I was about to say, who were the other nominees? You were the only female.
Quetinati of Multimedia, Joy News, and the BNFT guy, Emmanuel AJ Frimpong, even right. Thelma, these are tough guys in the industry. They also go out to do heart-to-rate stories, stories that are so indispensable, for coverage. This is what they do. And I also find myself to be in the same situation. So I wasn't so sure, unlike the other ones that I know, I'm actually going to pick this award, and I always get them.
Or you've had nominations where you felt for sure that you were bagging it.
Exactly.
But not this one.
My infertility award, the international ones, it's also based on nominations. You never know, but when we go there, I grab it. So with this one, it was very difficult.
You weren't expecting
I was not expecting it.
Does it still
even on Friday during the program? I was a bit uneasy. I wasn't too well, so I nearly stepped out. Then I heard Johnny Hughes announce for our category. I was like, I'm not going to get this. Maybe I just have to spare this one and leave it for Quetinati and the other guy. And here I was, my name was mentioned, and I had to go for the award. I was not expecting this at all. They equally did great jobs with their reportage, and we thank God. We give God the glory. My bosses in the office, Auntie Aku Shikakwe Bosni, Bishop, I thank them so much, and all the others who have been inspiring me to do much more. My colleagues, those who actually tell me to move and do these stories, I'm so much grateful. And to GBC for giving us a platform to tell the story of the underprivileged in the society. That's what most of us, I think that's our purpose. We love to serve. Thanks so much to the manager of the corporation, and we will bring more awards to GBC and we want the name up to the international.
We want more awards. We want more awards. What's the next step for you? I hear there's a meeting with Cocoa Board.
Yeah, I have to. Yes. This is an opportunity that you won't be. You have to actually go in for. These awards bring opportunities, so many opportunities, and if you aren't able to make good use of it, then I don't know why you should be getting those awards. And we have to go extra, an extra mile to do more of these stories. And sometimes it comes with funding. Even moving from Accra to these hard-to-reach areas, it comes with funding. So you have to have those kind of meetings so that
you can make those possible.
Exactly.
Equia, congratulations once again.
Thank you.
We're glad to have you. GBC is proud of you.
Thanks
and
so
please,
much.
2 more stories. Let's win more.
I will.
And
there's another blockbuster coming out soon.
I was about to say, I'm sure you have another one up your sleeve, and we can't wait to see it.
I do.
Maybe we don't want to ruin it so that somebody will hear the advice. They will hear a hint of it. So congratulations, Ekwia Wadako, award-winning journalist at GBC, a Mandela Fellow as well, and so proud of her. She's been adjudged the Cocoa Journalist of the Year at the Ghana Cocoa Awards 2021, and she's been sharing her story with us. Ekwia, congrats once again, and congratulations to all the award winners for all the other categories as well. We're sure that it was a well-deserved nomination. Of course, we're happier that we won it, but we congratulate all of you out who also sent entries for the Ghana Cocoa Awards. The breakfast show returns. Val will be on the yellow couch thanks to Airtel Tigo, and we are having that conversation on the collaboration between GBC and UNICEF, and it's about adolescent issues. We'll be right back. You don't want to miss it.
Sugar, Papa, thank you. This is the breakfast show. Coming live from the capital, this is the breakfast show. Coming live from the capital, this is the breakfast show. Coming live from the capital, this is the breakfast show. Coming live from the capital, this is the breakfast show. Coming live from the capital, this is the breakfast show. Coming live from the capital, this is the breakfast show. Coming live from the capital, this is the breakfast show. Coming live from the capital, this is the breakfast show. Coming live from the capital, this is the breakfast show.
Collaboration with UNICEF, we discuss issues about adolescents, children, everything that pertains from childbirth to when you hit early adulthood, if I'll call it that, yeah. And today we are discussing early childhood development, what matters, what we need to look out for, the important facts and factors that we need to know. Helping us with the discussion, I have Madame Yvonne Premper Ferguson. She is the technical specialist, Mothers to Mothers, an NGO here in Ghana. Good morning once again.
Good morning, Valerie.
Welcome, welcome. We love to have you.
Very happy to be here.
I love your colors in way.
Thank you, thank you. Looking fantastic too.
So, in the past couple of weeks, we've been discussing adolescents, but today we are discussing how would I call it? Toddlers, babies, infants. Early childhood, infants. Why is it important for mothers, parents, guardians to take that part of their child's life? Why must it put a lot of attention on that the first 1,000 days of a child's life?
Thank you very much. I mean, there's a cliche that goes like, when we get it right from the beginning, or when you change the beginning, you can actually change the whole story. So early childhood influences are very vital to the development of the child, and some of those influences and their impacts can last well into adulthood. 0 to 3 years is a period where the brain is making massive connections. The brain's architecture is being formed. In fact, 80% of brain development occurs from 0 to 3. So after 3 years onwards, it's just 20% that is happening. So when you miss this stage, you miss the window of opportunity to actually influence the brain's architecture, to influence cognitive development, to influence language development, and a lot of other developmental domains for the child. Yeah, for me, I look at it like you're building a house. So that is your foundation.
Foundation.
You get the foundation wrong, you can change the top, but it's very difficult to change the foundation.
Right. What would you say goes into the appropriate early childhood care? What constitutes that?
Okay, so we in the ECD space, we talk about nurturing care, and globally there's a nurturing care framework that was developed at the 71st World Assembly in New York, and we talk about 5 components. Usually everybody talks about nutrition and health, Makoro Mebano, immunizations, but early childhood development includes early stimulation, opportunities for early learning. We call positive parenting, positive discipline, responsive caregiving, paying attention to the cues of your child and being responsive. We talk about nutrition, optimal nutrition. We talk about optimal health. We talk about child safety. I always tell mothers that by the time the child is out, you find the child sitting in the sand, licking sand like she's eating gari. You know what I'm saying? So child safety, child protection. You find children playing with coal pots. They are sitting next to a coal pot. There's a huge container of cake sitting on the coal pot, and the 2-year-old is sitting in front of it. It's a disaster waiting to happen. So when we talk about early childhood, we talk about early stimulation, early learning, responsive caregiving, positive discipline, child safety, child protection, health and nutrition.
Right. Also, the traditional way of letting the grandparents, close relatives, aunties who live in the house to play that caregiver role, is it not adequate enough, or we've come to times where we need to up our game?
I think that is adequate. I mean, the point is the child needs early nurturing influences and early healthy relationships, early social interactions with a positive caregiver, and or with a primary caregiver. Grandparents can provide that function, but the early interactions builds bonds between the child and the caregiver. So if it's provided by a parent, that bond can last for a long time. So when you're hugging your child, when you're kissing your child, when you're playing with your child, you're actually bonding with the child. And it helps the child to build trust. It helps the child to feel secure. It helps the child to develop self-confidence and self-esteem.
Right. Also, a question that we have here is, how can a parent be prepared to play an effective role in their child's early care?
I think that it's very important that parents are equipped. And as I was coming here today, I said, hey, even at the GBC, you could have parenting sessions. Parents need to understand what the positive benefits of early childhood development are. They also need to understand what the risks of poor early childhood development are. So it's important that parents are able to access programs that provide them education. And we can access parents at the entry points where we find them, in schools, in health facilities, in clinics, in the markets, in the hairdressing salon. Anywhere you find mothers, it will be important to provide them this kind of training, because it doesn't come with the pregnancy. Parents need support, and that's why I came with one of the books that we use at Mothers to Mothers. It's a flip chart that we use at community level to engage parents around early childhood development. We take them through systematic sessions where we educate them on positive parenting skills.
Right. So what about parents who, because of their job constraints, cannot have time to take care of their kids, and they find themselves taking their kids to maybe the nurseries and the creches as early as 3 months?
Yes, I think the key point about early childhood development is it has to be early, but also has to be good quality. So it's all about quality parental interactions with the child. So the busy mother will make sure that she capitalizes on feeding times, capitalizes on bathing times, capitalizes on sleeping times when she's with the child, and it can make a ton of difference. What I also encourage working mothers to do, pop into your creche. When you drop the child, when you have lunch, go and say hello, check in with her, make sure she's fed, make sure she's being cleaned, make sure that she's being responded to, and her attention and her needs are being met. So, yeah.
Well, maybe that happens once in a while, because if the parents had that time, they won't take their children who are that young to yeah. And then also, is there an association or a money body that sort of monitors caregivers, crashes, Montessori's? They are springing up all over the place. Yes. Do the teachers and caregivers have the requisite skills that they need? Yeah,
you're right. Actually, as M2M, we partner with the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection. So within the Ministry of Gender, there's actually a department for children. It's headed by Director Madam Florence AEC Quarty, and they do have, in fact, they do have ECD standards that creches and Montessori's are supposed to comply by. We have regional social welfare officers that actually do inspections. So once the facilities are inspected and the standards are not up to par, you'll be encouraged to improve them. So I think what we need is to ensure that the governing and the accountability is there for those inspections to happen, because the bodies are available.
Well, the bodies are available, but in actually going to the facilities to inspect is another question, because over the years we've seen videos here in Ghana.
Absolutely.
We've seen videos that erupted from Montessori's creches where parents thought their kids were safe. Some even resulted in death. I know you've seen some of the videos.
I've seen them.
You've been in this field for years.
Yes.
What are your general thoughts?
I think that parents are watchdogs. And so if you take your child to a creche and you discover that the standards are not up to par, I think it's important that you speak out and let the relevant authorities know. I always believe that mothers should also do a few trips to different creches, observe for a day or two before they actually decide on which creche that they are taking their child. And when you are there, look on the walls whether you can see the certifications and see the registration, and be sure that where you're taking your child is very safe.
Right. So which two certificates would you advise parents to look out for when they are doing these surveys before they take their kids to school?
I think definitely the business registration, the certificate of incorporation, but also you will need certification from the Department of Social Welfare.
Right.
Yes, and the Ministry of Gender,
and
Children
so
and Social Protection.
That's one key certificate that parents need to look out for.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Auntie Florence, who is the director of the Department of Children, is a sweet, sweet mother. And if you need to, provide any information to them, please just walk to her office and she'll be very ready to support you.
Right. Growing up, we having our fathers having, in our part of the world, our fathers usually are not part of the early childhood care of parents, of their kids.
Yes.
What would you say? Is this dynamic? Is it changing? Do you find more fathers participating in their children's early childhood? What do you have to say when it comes to that area?
Parental involvement, especially male involvement, is critical. What I see, though, is even though fathers would like to be involved, sometimes mothers don't let them. When you see your husband in your kitchen, what will you say? But if you make kitchen, how I me say mommy. And hey, they are trying now. They share, Fiona, no, and now they share Vanessa. Today she was supposed to wear white. Why is she wearing blue? Then father is discouraged because the little effort is not even rewarded. I think mothers need to consciously bring their husbands and their fathers into the upbringing of their children, because children love their dads. I'm sure you realize that the one day that daddy takes them out to KFC or takes them out to the park, it's like the talk of the town for the whole month.
Because daddy doesn't shout, daddy doesn't
shout, daddy spoils.
Make faces.
Exactly. You see, daddy doesn't yell, but you spend the day with mommy and you're wondering, okay, do I actually want to spend more time with this woman or not?
Has the eyes. Mommy looks at you and
exactly.
You have to straighten up.
Exactly. Mommy is always straightening up. So fathers love to be involved. But do we allow them? I think mothers need to make a conscious effort to bring fathers on board, and so that the child's development is actually holistic.
Right. Okay. Also, in the era where we are now, we find that where it says that do not cane your child, do not correct your child, do not punish your child. Where do we draw the fine line between correction and punishment?
Yeah, thank you very much. This is a big subject, and in Ghana we believe in spare the rod and spoil the child. My mother used to wake us up and beat us, and we actually didn't even know what we have done. But she remember she's coming home. She did this last week, and I didn't check her. I think that we talk a lot about parenting, positive and sensitive parenting, taking the child's needs into consideration. I look at mothers who are 35 and you see them literally having a fist fight with a 2-year-old and beating them as if they are their age. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But there are so many ways you can correct a child. What I always say is connect before correction. And when we look at discipline, discipline in Latin actually means to teach. So children can be taught the right behaviors. And the way children learn is to look at you. Have you ever watched two children play? One is the daddy, one is the mommy. They do exactly what mommy does. Hey, so you become an embodiment of violence to them. They think that violence is the only way to correct. But if you model positive behaviors, if you take them through what is right, if you take them through what they need to do and understand why they need to do it, I think that that actually gives you a better outcome in terms of the development of the child, so that it's not harsh. I'm sure we all have memories of when we're really beaten, you know, when we're children. With lots of cooking utensils. And lots of everything that was near to you, your shoe, the belt, the slipper. And you're in your 30s and you haven't actually forgotten those experiences. No. You can't. So they leave lasting marks on the child and can affect the self-esteem, the self-confidence. And a lot of children who have inferiority complexes are children who are severely punished at home. Wow. And beaten. So I believe in positive discipline and positive parenting. Right. And then also, what can be done in the setting where there's absolutely no choice but to leave your child in the hands of a caregiver? What advice, what things should we look out for? What would you advise before people get caregivers for their children? No, I think it's very, very important that you start off with maybe a week and interact with them. A lot of house helps and nannies have actually killed children. In other countries, they've, I remember in our estate, one nanny actually poured very hot custard in the mouth of a child. And our own house girl used to put soap in the water bottle and shake it, and it would look like lactogen. And she'll give it some of my younger siblings, So you have to be very careful who you're bringing to your home. And I think that in developed countries, they have associations and boards for nannies where someone can go, and the nannies have already been pre-screened, and you can actually select a good nanny so that if something goes on wrong in your home, you can refer back to the agency. So so working mothers can look out for some of those agencies where nannies have actually been trained and have been screened, and they have some accountability should they do any harm to your child. All right. Can you also share some suggestions on how to handle the challenges when it comes to early childhood care? Like some of the challenges parents come across. Most women, maybe they give birth and 2-3 weeks, their relatives, their mom has left, and then it's now you and the baby. Reality has hit. And that's where depression sets in and other factors. What would be some advice and suggestions you'd give? 2 things I always talk about. Children are born social. And the moment they are born, they are ready to interact. Keep it social, keep it fun, keep it playful. For me, even at work, I'm a playful manager. So I think playful parenting is what we emphasize, because once you look at the burden of raising this little human being that is looking up to you for everything and every need, it can become daunting. But keep the music on. Make sure that the child has a stimulating environment. Even if it's a small hut, have the little empty milk tins and have the empty boxes, you see, and have the water bottle covers that we all play with. And make sure the child has a fun and playful environment. It will surprise you that some of the most stimulated children are actually not coming from rich homes. It's coming from the children in the backyard, growing up, with a mother in the farm. But the mother is very happy and focused on the child. So even if you're having challenges, make sure the child is not denied of these early interactions. Okay, so this is my final question. This is from, you didn't send your name, but this is on WhatsApp. Our WhatsApp, it says, how does TV, into bracket kids videos, affect the child in the early years of development? And also ask care about the schools, because most toddlers contract infections from there. That's cool. You didn't send your name. Okay, I think that really right now we have left our babies to social media and our adolescents. That's what is raising us. Children need some of the stimulation they can get from TV. So if you have a TV station like Nickelodeon or, you know, which I love, Teletubbies, that has educative programs, then it's very, very important for the child. But again, you have to also regulate the amount so that you're not bombarding the child with just one influence. The child needs diverse influences. So you can allocate some time for the house girl. When he's fed, let him sit and watch this TV, maybe for an hour, for 30 minutes. But mothers as soon as they come from the market, they put their things in the kitchen, then they put the TV on, they leave the child there. In fact, they forget the child has been sitting there. The child will watch the TV and she'll fall over the carpet and she'll sleep, you know. She has been overdosed with TV. So please do not let the TV raise your children. It's part of the development package, but it has to be taken in small amounts.
Right.
Yes.
Ma'am, a lot of questions are coming in, but we don't have a lot of time.
Always, we don't have time, so we have to come back again.
You have to come back again, surely. Yes. But you can put one number out and maybe an email or a social media handle where people who want to interact with you further can connect with you.
Absolutely. So my name is Yvonne Prempe. I'm the technical director for Mothers to Mothers in Ghana. So you can find us on www.m2m2 as in the number m.org. I can be reached on 0552 809 902. 0552 809 902. I believe this is really a pertinent topic that we need to continue discussing. So I'll be very happy to answer your questions.
Thank you,
Valerie. Thank you very much for having me again.
Love you every time you come on the show.
You.
We've been talking about childhood development, what matters, what to know, the risk factors, and what to look out for. And having this conversation with me, I had Yvonne Prempe Ferguson. She is the technical specialist, Mothers to Mothers and NGO. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we are going to the cinemas.
Remember Revelations. And I looked as he opened the sixth seal. There was a great earthquake. Judgment.
Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show.
And now officially welcome to the warmer side of the breakfast table, where we set the tone right for the rest of your day. So like I said before the break, we're going to go to the cinemas. We're going to discuss a lot of things. We're going to talk about ratings. We're going to talk about promos. My guy is going to be in a very tight spot today, and he's coming from the Silver Bear Cinemas. And we're going to take a break and find out what goodies Airtel Tigo has in store. Here's a quick break.
Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show.
Movies that are premiering this weekend, I have Obritete. He is the sales and marketing manager for the Silverbird Cinemas GH. Welcome.
Thank you, Valerie.
So, you know, one thing that we keep seeing every time when we're talking about going to the movies, and we are reading about it, it says that box office. What is the box office to the ordinary Ghanaian who doesn't understand what the box office is, or is not real versed in cinematic expressions?
So then the box office simply defines the area where you get your tickets. So the box office is the space where the ticket is sold. So you realize that after a premiere, they tell you the box office sales. It means that how much was gathered from the sale of tickets. So the box office is literally just the area where it's sold. But when it comes to the market, it means that how much was made from those sales. So yeah.
Okay, so for instance, can I say that maybe Silverbird, you guys, you have a box office?
Yes,
I can say that, and it's allowed?
Yes.
Okay, now let's talk about the age restrictions as well.
Yeah.
In our Ghanaian movie industry, they tried to sort of ask movie producers to put the age restrictions there.
Yeah.
When people come to watch movies at Silverbird, and they say the rating is age 16, age 18, age 13, how do you monitor those who come into Silverbird to know that this guy is 16 and he's going to watch an 18 movie? How do you do that?
So then we usually use, we try and play the intelligence game of expression, and also sometimes we ask for verification just to be sure, because some people are smallish in nature. We don't want to disrespect you.
You're called pocket size, thank you.
So then we have movies that are rated. Such movies we will have to ask maybe for a card or something. And sometimes some parents come with their children, they want to see a movie that is PG-13. We make sure the parent knows that you are responsible for the child. I mean, is rated for anybody above 13, but say the child is 12, you have to make sure that any scenes that do not conform to that age, you make sure the child doesn't see them. So we usually advise that. But then we always have, on a typical day, movies for all ages. So then you can bring a child to come watch it. Kids movie, while you go enjoy whichever rated movie you want to see. So yes.
Right. Also, we do know that coming December and all the events that are going to happen, you have to show your vaccination card before you are let into an event venue.
Yes.
Are we going to see something similar with the Silverbird Cinemas?
So then, respectfully, we will try to adhere to every COVID protocol that is given to us, because we are part of a body, and the Tourism Authority is our regulatory body. So should they come out and say, this is what we have to do, I think respectfully we'll go with that. And we just advise Ghanaians to get vaccinated, because we want to see you next year and the years after come enjoy the best movies and products from our concession. So yes, yes, if it ever comes out that we have to make sure those are the measures, or those are the only valid ways people can get through, then we'll stick to that.
Right. And so this weekend, there's going to be lots of traffic at the roundabout, because I know all cars and all the traffic is going to be at the Silverbird, because we have two movies premiering. We have Ghostbusters Afterlife, and then we have, that's a movie to look out for, is King Richard.
Yes.
It's also premiering this weekend.
Yes.
So tell us about, let's begin with Ghostbusters. Why should Ghanaians come and watch? Movie lovers already know this is coming up.
Yeah.
So they're going to watch. But for people who are not really enthused, then they need to be coaxed somehow. Why are you going to let them come and watch Ghostbusters Afterlife?
So the franchise started in '84. It's a movie that has been here for quite some time, and this is like a sequel to the '84 and '89 movies. They tried to reboot in 2016, but for box office it didn't really work. So now the son of the original director and producer comes up and says, I want to pick it up.
Okay.
And he's telling his father's story in a more modern mode or era. So he marries the past and the present and makes a beautiful... You should see the ratings online. Every single person who has seen Ghostbusters Afterlife is just blown away.
Okay, now that's that's another thing we like, a term we like to use loosely, but a lot of people don't know what it means. When you say see the ratings, what do you mean when you say see the ratings?
Okay, so there are a lot of critics out here who are advantaged to see movies before they come out, because they look out for the texture of the movie, the scoring, the storyline, the plot, the acting. So now these people generally define the audience drive and thirst for a movie. But also these movies are premiered at festivals and all this stuff. And sometimes they allow the people who see it to also give their feedback on it. So all these come up, but some trusted review points are tomato. So when we say this movie is, say, 76% Rotten Tomatoes,
okay,
you know that is a good movie. That is a movie you should see.
So
Ghostbusters is 74%, which means that it is above.
You have to go and see it.
Yes. As I mean, you don't always have to trust the ratings. You have to experience it for yourself.
Okay.
And feel it.
So that's another thing we have to look out for when you're going to choose a movie. Go underneath and you see the ratings, and then you can see the comments, people who have already watched the movie, the comments they've made about the movie, and then you have a fair idea on what the movie is like.
Yeah.
So the next movie premiering this weekend is King Richard. Woo! That's what everybody is getting. Can I get tickets? Can I get tickets to go? Come on.
I mean, I'm giving you 5 spots in front, just for you.
I'm adding you to my best friend gang right now. Tell us about King Richard.
Wow. So you know how people admire success without knowing the process. So this is just a biography about 2 of tennis's greatest players ever, Serena and Venus Williams, and their father. So now this is a man who has been married 3 different times. He had his Serena and Venus with his second wife, Price. And before they were born, I think in 1976, he encountered Virginia. She was a Romanian tennis player. And due to that, he wrote a 78-page plan for the lives of Serena and Venus Williams. Told his wife that he is going to stick to it and make sure that they become the greatest tennis players ever. And he stuck to it. He quit his job. He and his wife constantly had the girls out there. He put them through some of the toughest times, and it made them the toughest players ever. So 2003, like this, Sabrina had an encounter where the entire crowd was booing her because of an incident. What happened is that her father, in raising them to be tennis stars, will casually ask children to just come surround the tennis court and hurl insults at the girls. So at that point, Serena had been through that process, so she just went through that phase and actually won the match. So this is a story about the journey that led to these two greatest tennis players ever, and who was the source, which is Richard Williams. But in this place is Ken Richard Williams, and it is played by none other than the amazing Will Smith.
I mean, that's him right there.
The amazing Will Smith, amazing actor, amazing.
And the two sisters are in there as well.
Yes.
They play themselves in there.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Now we've done all the nice things and you've whet appetite to come and watch it. Let's talk money.
Okay.
How much money does someone need to come and watch the first one, Afterlife, Ghostbusters Afterlife? How much are the tickets going for? Where do we get tickets? Do we get early bird tickets? Do we get it online? Do we come and see you?
So then when it comes to getting off tickets, we usually advise people to come to our front desk to come get it. I mean, we are in times where we are trying to
be careful.
Yes, be very extra careful. And sometimes we usually advise people to also check our website before coming, because our schedules are prone to change. We work with machines sometimes, they give up on us and all those stuff. So, and most of our times are subject to change. So sometimes we usually advise people that, say an hour before you want to come see a movie, just check our website, www.silverbeardcinemas.com/Accra or www.silverbeardcinemas.com/West Hills. So about an hour before you come, check out the movie, check out the time, maybe call to verify and just come to the front desk. Now what happens is that our blockbusters have different movie pricing, so I can't give you how much it costs unless you call our customer care number.
Okay, so right now we have two movies that we're premiering this weekend.
Yes.
Ghostbusters Afterlife,
yes,
and King Richard.
Yes.
How much are the tickets for Ghostbusters?
I can't give out such information here. People will have to call to verify,
okay,
because it's coming on Friday, so the pricing will be out on Thursday. So we advise people to call.
Okay, so the prices, the ticket price has not been out yet.
No.
It will be out on Thursday. What time on Thursday? So people can start setting the alarms. What time would it be out?
So Thursday by 8 a.m. it will be ready.
8 a.m.
Yes.
to be ready.
Yes.
Okay, we can have you via Zoom, and then you tell us how much the tickets cost, because you have to tell us how much tickets. And so we have to come to the front desk.
Yes.
At Silverbird, at the Accra Mall,
and West Hills Mall.
At West Hills Mall for the tickets. And so this Friday, what times are they screening?
So we usually update our websites and times on Thursdays. That's why I'm advising people to check our website on Thursday to get all the times that it will show.
Okay, so now we don't have the time and we don't have the ratings yet. All we know is that all two will be screened on Friday.
Yes.
All two on Friday. So we know that Ghostbusters Afterlife and King Richard is screening this Friday at the Silverbird
Cinemas.
At the Silverbird Cinemas, Accra Mall and West Hills Mall. Unfortunately, rates pricing for tickets is not out yet, and the time's not out yet as well. But by 8 a.m. on Thursday morning, we'll have tickets, how much the tickets are going for, and what times they are being screened. And so that's something to look out for. Yes. 8 a.m. Go on All Silverbird Cinema TH's website. Give us the website again and one number to call.
Okay, so it's www.silverbeardcinemas.com/Accra and www.silverbeardcinemas.com/West Hills. And then you can call 0544-310-140 for all information about how to get your tickets, what times will be showing, or any customer related issues, and we will answer in and get through to you.
Right. So since you, I'm sorry, I'm going to put you on the spot. Sorry, I was this. Since you are in sales and marketing and you work with the cinemas and the theaters, and COVID has brought a lot of setbacks, but we are reopening our theaters, trying to revive the love for theaters and all that. How do you see, what do you see in Ghana's near future when it comes to screening movies at cinemas? Do our own Ghanaian movies get screened? Are there any movies that come up?
Yeah, so on coming back, we've had a lot of requests for Ghanaian local content. Actually, people are dying for local content, and we've made sure that, so from next week, being 26th November, Friday, to the end of the year, it'll be a roller coaster of local
content,
like local content entirely. We have Boga showing in our cinemas. We have Coming to Africa showing in our cinemas. Until Sunset is showing in our cinemas. We have a whole lot of local.
Why don't you come out here and make noise about our local movies the way you are doing about King Richard and Ghostbusters?
So then this weekend is about King Richard and Ghostbusters.
So the next time we have local content.
Yes, next week is about a new movie coming in here. It's titled Tito.
Okay.
It's
Tito.
Yes.
It's purely
incredible.
Ghanaian content.
It features Fred Mugi. It features Jessica Williams. It features Jeffrey Norte. So it's a mad one.
Okay.
And we, as for the cinemas, we promise Ghanaians the very best of entertainment. We promise you value for your money.
Not just any entertainment.
Quality
entertainment that has 80% local content.
No, and I'm promising you, from now to the end of the year.
If you don't promise me and just go scot-free, I'll hold you to
from now to the end of the year. It's a roller coaster of local movies.
Okay, we'll be looking out for you. I particularly be looking out for you and be on your neck all the time. So this is how we spent the last bit of the breakfast table. I spent it with Obri Tete from the Silver Bird Cinemas GH, and he came to talk about two movies that are premiering this weekend: Ghostbusters Afterlife and King Richard. It's premiering this weekend. Time and price for tickets will be out 8 a.m. on Thursday. So all you have to do is go on the Silver Bird Cinemas GH, their website, and there's a number on there to call, or you can go to the front desk at either the Accra Mall or the West Hills Mall, and then you can get more information from there. We'll take a quick break.
I got these two great tennis players. All we
Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show. Coming live from the capital, this is the Breakfast Show.
Well, this has been today's edition of Chi TV Breakfast. We're live. We're airborne 6 a.m. We've been giving you back-to-back information, educating you, entertaining you, and informing you. And so I have a birthday message for Dr. Irajwa Nunu at the 37 Military Hospital, and this is from our international producer Cynthia, and she says, "May God bless you." Guys,
I have a birthday shout from the first Accra Boys and Girls Brigades and Mrs. Messi Ajoko Pepratu, Naomi Akoko Kwaku, patron of the Boys and Girls Brigade And Jeffrey Enim Eyim, my boyfriend, happy birthday. Happy anniversary, Mr. and Mrs. Messi Pepra. I call you Mr. and Mrs. Messi Pepra. You understand why? IGP. We are so happy. Inshira, 7 years old today. Happy birthday. We love you.
Cuff.
Hey, what's up?
What did you enjoy most about the show?
The way the Director General of the Internal Audit Agency has put people on the spot. And I started with calling out GBC.
Thank you very much for that.
Then I called out UPSA. And then we called out a whole bunch of people. National Health Insurance, GRA. It's in today's graphic, page 40.
Please.
We're supposed to put out our internal audit third quarter reports. It's going to be out there. So it's going to be out there so that we can help. I mean, what surprised me was that 13 out of 16 regions, their coordinating councils, they don't have their audit staff out there. And it's crazy because it means the money is not being accounted for in the regions and in the MDAs. And then all the problems that we have with the public accounts reports, it's right there. So Charlie, drop the reports. Don't shoot the messenger. Listen to the message. Drop the reports. Yeah, and the man was there. So he put it out there, which was great. I love that. I love that.
You have to end with a quote for today.
Charlie, I've been looking for quotes. I don't get any quote though, so I'm going to end with my favorite saying. Trust in God, but lock your car.
I've heard that one.
Yes, it's my favorite one.
Yeah.
Trust in God, but lock your car.
Thank you, everyone, for being a part of our morning today. I don't have a car to lock. So.
You don't have a car to lock?
No.
Oh.
Not today. Not today.
Trust in God, but lock your car. What is it?
Why are you covering your face? It means lock your car.
Give me your game face.
That's not a good one.
I want to dance.
No, don't dance. Don't dance.
Oh no, we have to end with it.
We'll go there and come and do it.
Since you haven't done it, I'll just watch you.
Remember.
The thing is, I cannot dance to save my life.
That's what you're
we're going to stick to the people who are bold enough to actually participate in the challenge.
Bravo, Charlie, see you guys. Bye-bye.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Yes.
Thank you to our sponsors. Can I acknowledge our sponsors?
Of course, we are dancing.
But Kaf cannot do the dance. Why is he asking me to do the dance?
So, Awake Purified Water, Shoulder Acrylic Paint, Adonko Next Level Energy Drink, Cheesy Pizza, Airtel Tego, Lufat, we are grateful to all of you. See you again same time tomorrow. Bye for now.
No, don't do it.
But that's not how we are playing ball.